Summertime Rendering is for sure one of the biggest sleeper hit anime of the previous season. Not a lot of people talked about this anime, at least from what I saw. But that is probably because it wasn't available to watch on any of the legal sites, so you had to go out of your way to watch it. But for those of us who decided to watch this series, we were blessed with an absolutely amazing anime that is just so compelling and keeps me coming back for more each and every week. Summertime Rendering is a thrilling series with some really well written characters that are super compelling. The premise for the series is also amazing and helps make the series way more fun. However, of the people I've seen talk about this show, a lot of them compare it to ReZero because of the coming back from death aspect in both shows. However, the way Summertime Rendering handles it is very different from the way that ReZero does, so they really aren't all that similar. But I do understand why people would compare the two because that aspect is there. Summertime Rendering really surprised me. I didn't really know what to think when going into this series. I was going to pick up the manga before I learned it was getting an anime, and my god am I glad that I waited. I'm sure the manga is phenomenal, but the anime is just so amazing that I feel like it was the right call to go with that over the manga, at least for now, because the anime might not cover every single chapter of the manga. Spring 2022 weirdly had a lot of sleeper hit anime that not a lot of people talked about but were still really amazing. Even among them, Summertime Rendering stands out in both the storytelling and its characters. Honestly, if the series was available to watch on a legal platform like Crunchyroll, I honestly think it could have put up a good fight against Spy Family for anime of the season. But sadly, that didn't happen, so you know what? I'm here to advocate that everyone should find a way to watch this anime, and do it because it is so good and honestly one of my favorite anime that I have seen in quite some time. But before we continue with this video, it would be awesome if you could leave a like on this video and subscribe to the channel. I make new anime and manga content every single week on a variety of series. The characters in Summertime Rendering are amazing. They are all so well written, it's insane. Like, as we get further into the series, we slowly start to be able to piece together the true nature of the characters as well as learn about their intentions. The character writing is one of the best parts of this series. The relationships between all of the characters is really interesting and helps to carry this series along. The characters in this series rely on figuring out who they can and can't trust. Even someone you thought was a friend or even family could turn out to be a bad person, so you have to be careful. That relationship really adds a lot of tension to the series and makes each episode so much fun because it puts you on your toes wondering what's going to happen to these characters. This series doesn't hold back when it comes to the killing of characters either, which is awesome because that makes all the characters seem like they're always in constant danger and that the enemy is a huge threat that should never be underestimated. Somehow, the characters became the most interesting part of this series for me. The main character specifically, because surprisingly, we don't know a lot about him outside of what the series wants us to know, which makes his character super intriguing. What I also love about his character is how human he feels. Every time he or someone he cares about is in danger, he freaks out and can't keep a level head despite how seemingly smart and calculated he usually seems to be on the surface. That sense of realism really makes his character more compelling and relatable to people. The other side characters in the anime are all also awesome. Like Hizuru for example, when we first meet them we really don't know what to think. We know they know about the enemy and that they are chasing said enemy, but we don't really know why until a little bit later on. Their personality is also great. They play a really good mentor role for the protagonist while still also having a purpose and reason for fighting the enemy and saving people, which I really love. The character writing in Summertime Rendering is by far the best part of this series and it's not even close. The way all the characters are set up and interact with each other is amazing and makes me love the characters even more than before. Even the voice actors change their typical dialect to sound like they are from a more rural island area of Japan instead of from Tokyo like how most other voice actors speak. This really helps to enhance the feeling of realism among the characters as that is probably how they would actually speak in real life. So you should definitely check out this series for the characters alone. The setting of Summertime Rendering is really awesome. The setup that we get for everything in this series is amazing. The world building is incredible as well. This story takes place on a small island town, but everything we learn about the history of this town and how the enemy even came to be in the first place is amazing. The island setting is great because it allows us to see how close all the characters are with each other as well as how they grew up with each other. The setting is also great because the island has so many different locations that changes up the scenery and also adds more to the lore of the island and why the enemy is doing what they are as well as how long they have been doing it. With every episode that passes, we learn more and more about the island and its people, which helps to make the location feel more real and helps to make us feel for the characters who want to protect this place. In some of the more recent episodes, the setting has changed to the underground sewer system of the island, which links to a whole massive cave system as well, which is a really interesting place. It is the place that the enemy has decided to make their base of operations, and it is also where we start to learn the truth about everything that is going on this island. With everything being said and done, the island setting was the perfect location for this series as it really enhanced the feeling of the characters and it really gave us a really cool, really interesting place with a lot of history behind it that we can learn about. So if you like looking deep into a series' world, then this series will be right up your alley because I'm sure there are loads of stuff that I have missed on my watch through of this series. I would like to learn more about this world, but I'm also too invested in the story, so it would be cool if more people made videos discussing things about this series, so that way I can learn more about it because it is so awesome. The art and animation in this series is really damn good. I love the art style this series goes for a lot. It has this darker atmosphere to it while also being able to be bright and cheery at the same time. The character designs in this series are also really well done as well and really help to enhance their overall characters. The backgrounds are really nice and really brings out the whole series. The animation is pretty solid. In this series, there isn't really a single moment that I can pinpoint that looks bad. Even the regular talking scenes look really good. But the fights, now that is where we get some really good animation. It's not Demon Slayer level or anything, but it is really smooth and looks really clean, and it makes the whole series just come together. I love Summertime Rendering's soundtrack. It is so good. Every single OST is awesome, and it really helps to enhance the scenes they are used in. There's some emotional tracks, some really hyped up tracks, and really just a whole bunch of everything that works out amazingly for this series. The OP is also just a bop, and it fits the feel of this series amazingly. It's dark, but it also has this more hyped up tone to it that gets you ready to start a new episode, which I love. Honestly, there really isn't much I can say about the music, it's just good. Summertime Rendering is probably the biggest sleeper hit anime of the last 2 seasons, only because of the fact that it doesn't have an official English release. But for those of us who have watched this anime, we were blessed with a phenomenal series that has some insane world building, awesome character development, and absolutely amazing story. I highly recommend everyone check this series out. However, if you're one of those people who only likes to support and won't use backhanded methods to watch your anime, I recommend you pick up the manga for this series. They recently released some hardcovers for this series that are pretty nice, and you will be able to get the full awesome story that way while still supporting the industry that you love.
Imagine, if you will, sitting down to your morning coffee, turning on your home computer to read the day's newspaper. Well,